You know, every year Oscar season hits and we always end up losing films along the way. And they're films that we shouldn't be losing, but they're films that they don't know how to market them. They're too small. They didn't make enough money at the box office, whatever it is. There's some reason. Generally, it's because the studio isn't shoving it down voters' throats. Because if you look at some of the studios this year, if you get your film out there enough, people will still talk about you. If you have the right people in the film, it doesn't really matter what your box office was. Begonia is a great example of this. Movie bombed at the box office, people still won't shut up about it. So, Rogue K is a new um, distributor, and unfortunately, they have Dead Man's Wire. And I say unfortunately because, as somebody who votes for a couple different awards. I've already voted once, and they got this to me after my nominating process had been over, and I would have voted for this. So, but I hadn't seen the movie, and there were rumors that we were going to get Dead Man's Wire before the deadline, and it just never happened. Instead, I got Dead Man's Wire like after our nominations had even been announced. And I appreciate that because I have other things I have to vote for, but at the same time, this is why films like this don't gain traction, is because you don't get the screeners out in time. Um, Last year, while it didn't materialize, I did see Hard Truths like 2 months before it like was released. So I was able to talk about Hard Truths to like every single person in Marion Jean Baptiste. It just was a really small British movie, and I couldn't get people that excited. This year, I'm really excited for The Plague, which no one knows about. No one's been excited for, and IFC is sleeping on that campaign. I think IFC just believes that they're incapable of running a picture campaign, the Best Picture campaign, but I would argue not, and they should try it with The Plague. So here we have Bill Skarsgård in Dead Man's Wire, and I'm John Stark from BackTheMovieGuy.com. I'm a blind film critic, and this is my review of Dead Man's Wire. And Bill Skarsgård is tremendous in this. He's easily one of the best performances of the year. The only other performance this year that I would question is Ethan Hawke in Blue Moon. Like, I would question whether or not he should win between that and Ethan Hawke, right? That's the only debate. Otherwise, even somebody like Dylan O'Brien, who I loved his performance in Twin List, this is more. He's doing more here. Bill has really immersed himself before in some tremendous roles, like last year in Nosferatu, which he could have easily been nominated for, but people just weren't ready for that performance. Same thing for Pennywise. Like, this dude knocks it out with horror performances. So he's here now with a serious, sort of based on a true story drama about a blue collar man who has been trodden upon by a financial institution, who decides to take matters into his own hands and takes the son of the CEO hostage with like a dead man switch shotgun neck collar thing that and makes his demands, and we learn why and how. And even though he's the guy who is doing the bad thing, it's really easy to empathize with him, both on a just on an emotional level, and also just human, because he's not trying to be overly aggressive and abusive. He's trying to be trusting and understanding, and trying to resolve the situation, believing that it can be resolved, believing that he just has to go to this extreme measure to get any sort of attention. He's not trying to do this necessarily to punish, but rather to rectify the wrongs that have been done to him. And Dacre Montgomery is unfortunately there as his hostage. And this is the best thing Bill Skarsgård has ever done, I think. He is completely transformed. It's hard to sit there and go, that's Bill Skarsgård here? I mean, this is a guy who just completely lost himself in all that, but without all of the goopy makeup that makes him into, the vampire in Nosferatu or the clown in It. Here he is just hiding behind normalism. He's hiding behind actually having to be a small town guy, working the job, saving up the money, and then getting screwed over by a bank. And the relatability of that, sounding incredibly Midwestern, um, and with that emotional turmoil inside of him as somebody who clearly is not like a bad person, somebody who doesn't go around committing crimes, who's just been pushed to a limit, but is still trying to maintain his sanity enough and wants people to know that he hasn't lost his mind to be able to pull this off. The rest of the cast is great. Dacre is fine. I've seen people talk about him for supporting actor. I think it's nice to mention him, but it's really hard to say anybody here is doing anything remotely what Bill is doing. Even the acclaimed, like Al Pacino and Coleman Domingo, Al plays the bank owner, and Dacre is his son. And he's great at being a douchebag, and has some great moments, especially one where, he like refuses to apologize, and he's like, "What for what?" He's got his Al Pacino voice, but he's also got like a deep Southern accent in it and some grit. And it's the least Al Pacino-y he's sounded in years. And Coleman Domingo plays a radio host who's the only person that um, Bill will talk to. And it's fine. It's not like, we don't, every time Coleman Domingo steps into a role now, we don't need to go, Oscar. he's fine. Like, anybody could have played this role. It's an interesting role to be there for that Coleman happens to be doing a fine job with. And then there's a girl who's in here who was not good. I did not enjoy what I would say is like the largest female role here, and I don't need to mention her name because we'll move on from life. But I kind of think, I look at, there's a casting process. I'm like, what did you see, Gus? For somebody who brought Minnie Driver to us in Good Will Hunting, into a role that really it wasn't the focus. She wasn't meant to be there. Like, I mean, she was, but I mean, she was not meant to be like in an awards conversation or something like that. There's something that Minnie still brings to that role that is special, is memorable, even though the film is very much not about her, and she's not the first thing that's on anybody's mind. But when you go back and think about the movie, you never think, oh, Minnie Driver in that movie was just... So, I mean, it's not like he can't direct female supporting performances. This girl's just not good. Every line delivery she had made me want to run from the room. But then Bill Skarsgård would start talking, and I ran right back in. I'm like, oh my God, Bill. So, the film is fine. I don't think I'm not here to campaign it for Best Picture. I'm not here to campaign it for the supporting actors. I'm not here for screenplay, Gus Van Sant, anything else. I want Bill Skarsgård to get an Oscar nomination. I'm tired of performances like his getting overlooked because the campaigns are not coming from Focus, Fox Searchlight, A24, Neon. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sorry that Roe K does not know how to run an Oscar campaign, but that is not a reason to not nominate these films. If you're a voter, it is your duty to try to see these films and find them, and not be catered to with cool luncheons and sit-ins with cast members and directors and everything, and be wined and dined into voting for things that it's all bullshit at the end of the day. You can send me all the swag in the world that you want for a film. If I don't like it, I'm not going to vote for it. Like, at the end of the day, if I don't believe it is where it deserves to be, I'm not going to vote for the movie. Like, if I didn't like one battle after another, they could send me DiCaprio to my home, open the door and be like, oh my God, it's Leo DiCaprio. What's up, man? And he's like, I'm doing a door-to-door for this film. We want to make sure we're shoring up all the votes for every awards body. This is an exhausting thing that I've been asked to do. But if he did it, I'd be like, "Man, I don't know. I'm still gonna vote for him in the same places, but I appreciate you coming here. I thought you were good. Might vote for you, I might not. You're not my number one, so I can't really promise you anything. I still have to select Timothy Chalamet and Marty Supreme to kind of figure out like who gets in my final five. But I do know right now that for me, my two locks are Ethan Hawke and Bill Skarsgård. Like that's not changing. And I don't know that they'll both get in, but I'm pretty certain Bill Skarsgård won't. And it's going to take a whole lot of people like me doing videos like this to say, fucking watch this movie. Bill Skarsgård is tremendous. He is the performance that is destined to be forgotten this year. He was excellent last year in Nosferatu, but we can always write that off as being oh, well, that was a horror performance. Same thing with Pennywise in it, right? He could have gotten a supporting nomination for that. He didn't. But he's no longer in a horror movie. You have lost that excuse of saying he's hidden behind all that makeup in the horror movie. Watch them nominate Jacob Elordi this year, by the way, and just be like, well, I don't know. What about Nosferatu, guys? I don't know. So, um, but yeah, this is please nominate Bill Skarsgård. Somebody watch this film. Francis Fisher, where are you at? Get this guy. Start hosting screenings for this film. This one's going to be left. Rogue Cage just doesn't know what to do. And they're brand new. I know last year Briarcliff got Sebastian and Jeremy into the race, which is great. But yeah, it's so hard to be a small distributor in the Oscars and to get your films in like this into major categories and to get a best actor. You know, it's the same thing Christie's facing with Black Bear being the distributor for that. It's this uphill battle. But luckily, that's all they have. Just throw all your money, throw everything on this one movie and this thing. You know, just go for it. So I don't know what else Rogue K is doing, but they need to just pedal to the metal on Dead Man's Wire. So yeah, I'm gonna give this a 7.3 out of 10. Please watch this for Bill Skarsgård. He is so good in this. So good. I cannot stress that enough for your consideration. Best actor, best lead actor, best actor in a drama, whatever your category is and whatever awards you're voting for, please consider Bill Skarsgård. Thank you, and I will see you guys on the other side.